When you're playing in a band, it's important that every instrument is tuned to the correct pitch. The most common frequency that instruments use at a tuning point is 440 Hz. This is called the reference pitch that each instrument tunes to. Recently on our worship team, this concept became incredibly evident to me. Since I play guitar, I use a tuner. And one Sunday morning, I went to tune up my guitar according to what my tuner pedal was telling me to. From my perspective, it says that I was tuned up. However, when the rest of the band began to play, my guitar sounded awful in comparison to everyone else. My first thought was that it must be everyone else that's the problem. It was probably the bass player or the vocalist singing off pitch, and so for all of rehearsal, in my mind, I'm blaming everyone else for being out of tune. What I failed to realize is that my tuning pedal was out of tune. Who knew that a tuning pedal could even be off? I figured out that it was set to 437 Hz instead of 440. That's less than a 1% difference, yet it was enough for my guitar to be way off. Let's apply this spiritually. Let's treat the frequency as if it's the Word of God. What happens when we're out of tune with the Bible? It may begin with subtle things like doubt, then questioning, maybe pride or resentment, and what about deception? When I was out of tune, my perspective was that it was more plausible that everybody else was wrong instead of me. That the 9 other people around me were out of tune and I was the only one that was playing correctly. This is what happens when we become out of tune with God. It taints our perspective and makes us believe that everyone else is the problem. It makes us unable to recognize the log in our own eyes. Isaiah 40 says that the grass withers and the flower fades, but the word of the Lord remains forever. That means it's never changing. I would have suggested that everyone else tuned a pitch with me, but in reality, I was off of the reference frequency. If we want to make ourselves available to hear the voice of God, we need to tune ourselves to the correct pitch, and that is the Word of God. The Word of God does not adjust to us and our preferences, we adjust to it. So, are you out of tune? And if so, I'd encourage you to present yourself before God, simply asking for a tune-up. Get in the Bible and see what God has to say about it. Let's make a decision to be in tune with God and His Word.